Good morning, everyone. We are here for our 6th day of Easter egg, resurrection egg opening. So today, girls, we're going to talk about one of the sad times before Jesus died that maybe his heart was kind of sad. So let's talk for a minute about what happens when our friends hurt our feelings or tease us. How does that make you feel?
Sad, very sad, and
Bad.
it's because it makes you want to hurt their feelings back sometimes.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It's you're so mad you want to hurt them back, like punch them or hurt them, but you can't.
Let's not punch them. Yeah, you're right. It does. It makes us want to kind of get back at them, right? But Jesus was made sad by his friends in our story today, and guess what? He didn't do that. Instead, he forgave them. Even though the people were doing the worst things to him, it was his friend Peter, who we talked about a couple days ago, how in our story, Jesus told Peter that he was going to deny him, which means he was going to say he didn't know who he was. And Peter said, no, he's not going to do that, but he did. But Jesus forgave him anyways. And today we're going to talk about the soldiers and how they mocked Jesus, which means they teased him. And so when we talked about Palm Sunday a few days ago, we talked about how Jesus came riding in on the donkey and they were saying, Hosanna, and they thought that he was coming in as a what?
King.
A king. But now, just a couple of days later, they're teasing him and saying, oh, here's your king, the king of the Jews. And they're going to whip him and they're going to give him a crown, but it's not going to be a really nice crown. It's going to be
a crown made of thorns.
A crown of thorns. So Kayla's going to open our egg today. It's the yellow egg, and we'll see what's inside. It's the crown of thorns. Yep. You can imagine that would be really painful. If you ever pricked your finger on a rose plant, it hurts. Can you imagine having that on your head? That's awful. And they were just doing it to make him sad.
A bunch of them on your head? That would be
yeah, it'd be bleeding. It'd be horrible. So I'm going to read our verse today from Matthew chapter 27. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the governor's headquarters, and twisting together a crown of thorns, they put it on his head. And kneeling before him, they mocked him. So mocking means to tease, and they were just trying to make him feel bad. But he didn't retaliate. He could have done something bad back to them, couldn't he? But he doesn't sin, right? So he didn't do that. He just kind of let them do what they were doing. So in our story today, this is the one from the Jesus Calling Storybook Bible. We're going to hear about what the soldiers did. And also, if you think back to a couple days ago when Jesus told Peter that he was going to betray him, that will come into this story too. Soldiers dragged Jesus through the streets to Jerusalem's leaders. Are you the Son of God? They asked. I am, Jesus said. Liar, they shouted. How dare you disrespect God by saying you're his son? Soldiers whipped him, beat him, spit on him. They made him wear a purple robe and a crown of sharp thorns. And they made fun of him. Now you look like the king of the Jews, they laughed. But Jesus hadn't done anything wrong, and he knew it. This was all a part of God's plan. When the soldiers came, some of Jesus' disciples were afraid and ran away. Others, like Peter, hung around to hear what was happening. Peter was warming himself by a fire when a servant girl asked him, Aren't you one of those guys who was with Jesus? No, it wasn't me, said Peter. Another girl asked, Are you sure? You look like him. It wasn't me, Peter said. More people came up. We're sure you're that guy. I don't know Jesus, Peter lied. I've never known Jesus. Then the rooster crowed. And Peter ran away and cried and cried and cried. So not only were the soldiers hurting Jesus, but Peter didn't mean to be hurting Jesus, but he was scared. And sometimes when we're scared, we do things we aren't proud of, right? So Peter wasn't proud of that, but Jesus forgave him anyways after he rose from the dead. So tomorrow we'll be back for day 7. Bye, guys.